The most powerful spells in the modern world don't look like magic. Hey, Rob here for the Saturday Grove, and I've noticed when I'm watching other magicians, they all wear their sunglasses. I'm wearing mine. What a stupid nonsense. Let's get rid of those for a start. How you doing? Hope you're well. Listen, I've been pondering this recently. It's been on my mind with things that are going on in the world, but the most powerful spells do not look like magic. They are not dressed up with guys in robes, with wands. They don't happen in stone circles. They arrive through repetition. They arrive through repetition. They arrive through repetition. Sorry, symbols, identity, fear, and emotion. Magic changes perception. Real magic, true magic is a inner process. It happens within the wonderful inner realms of our minds. And when changes happen there that transform us as the individual, then our experience of reality shifts and changes, and the way we show up within that reality shifts and changes. Perception, definition equals reality. And the magician is one who can tell themselves that the reality is what is most favorable for them, and therefore they perceive it that way, and it becomes that thing around them. Not because the world is changing, just because they step up into that place where the world can act and respond according to how they're telling themselves that should be. Now, magic changes our perception. Perception changes behavior. Great example. One of the things I do is I teach children how to play in bands, and it's wonderful fun. And I just shook my head then. It's true. It's an amazing thing. So at the end of each term, they have to do concerts, and I've just landed them all with the, "Hey guys, guess what? You're doing a concert in X amount of weeks," and they're like, "Oh, concert!" So they're seeing the perception of that is, oh my God, I've got to sit in front of my adults and the school and play music, and that's scary. So I turn around to them. I say, okay, let's shift this. Forget you're performing. What if, I said, we all like sharing, yeah? We all love sharing. What if, rather than performing, we just all go up there and at the concert, you share something you've enjoyed doing? How does that feel? And they're like, oh, wow. Wow. And they relax and they start to smile and go, we could do this, we could do that. Perception, what you're telling yourself about what's going on out there, changes your behavior. When those kids are looking at it from the fear of performing perspective, they're like, oh, I don't want to do it. When they're looking at it from sharing, tell I've been teaching a lot this week, a bit croaky, then they're okay. They're good with it. They in fact look forward to it. Behavior changes our reality. How we show up to that experience. I'm going to use that concert again as an example. If we go into that scared, nervous, and whatever, we might not be as confident. Our voice might shake. We might be worrying that much that our hands are shaking. We might forget the lines. If we're relaxed, looking forward to sharing what we're enjoying, we're just going to enjoy sharing what we're sharing on a stage in front of people. But the reality of that concert, just not just for the individual experience, but the group experience, becomes a different thing. And that what controls all that is what we're telling ourselves, how we define. If we let, and this is the spell, this is the dangerous bit. If we let other people give us that definition, we start living their reality, and they are now in control. They are now in control. If we let them define, if something happens and we let somebody else go, well, it's this, this, and this, and we accept that without question, they are defining our experience of reality. So if they're telling us to be afraid of something, we will be afraid of something. If they're telling us something's not good, when actually it might be, we just haven't looked at it. They are defining your reality. We can all think of examples where we're being told stuff constantly through the media, on social media, through newspapers. This is this is that. No, that's somebody's opinion or what they want you to believe that reality is. That, my friends, is the magic. That is the spell, and that is the most dangerous spell because it doesn't look like magic. Glamour meant enchantment, illusion, making something appear other than it is. And we see it in fairy tale stories, we see it in myths and legends. But modern glamour is living there in the media, it's in branding, it's in slogans, it's in outrage, it's in identity, it's in algorithms. Most glamour and the most effective spell casting and magic today happens through our screens. The very thing that I'm communicating to you for is a portal for wonderful, amazing unity and bringing together of people. And it is also a knife that can divide and separate and ostracize other people. It's a spell that has to be broken. You see, the more we repeat things, the more repetition there is, it normalizes an idea. So, for example, if you've never liked sprouts, it's probably not the best example, but I'm going with it because this isn't scripted and it's what came into my head. If you've never really liked sprouts, but you've never really tried them, and every time you see me eat them, I'm like, do you know what? These sprouts taste so good. They're really nice. And I'm like, and I'm smiling. Wow, sprouts. I'm normalizing. The more you hear me say sprouts are great, or let's take it the other way. Maybe you've always loved sprouts, but all your peers are starting to go, well, I really hate sprouts. Those sprouts especially are really not very nice. Suddenly your mind is listening to other people's version of reality. And if you just accept that, if you didn't like sprouts, but everyone's saying they're nice, you try them, the likelihood is that idea gets so normalized that whatever it tastes like is all right, it's okay, that when you try it, it's going to be okay. Likewise, if you keep listening to people go, oh no, that's really horrible. It's really horrible. I had it with a beer once. I can't remember the name of it. It was a beer I used to really like drinking. And not may I say not every day of the week, just, occasions when I was out. And I really liked it. And then I met some new friends, and everyone was like, "Oh, you don't like that, do you? Oh God, no, it's this, that, and the other, blah blah blah." And I remember the once picking it up and going, "Do I really like this?" And I don't drink it anymore. I don't think you can get it anymore. Going back a bit, but the fact is, other people telling me over and over again that what I was drinking wasn't nice eventually led to the point where my mind started focusing on what wasn't good about it, of which, in all fairness, there was very little. But because I'm hearing it over and over again, it normalizes the idea. And that's when it gets dangerous. When an idea gets normalized, it's easier to accept. The mind will absorb it so much easier. Think about when you see a stage hypnotist performing with hypnosis, and they won't just go, in a moment, you're going to cluck like a chicken. They'll repeat it over and over and over again. And they're doing it because it's normalizing the idea. So as the unconscious mind goes, yeah, well, why wouldn't I check? Why wouldn't I cluck like a chicken? Bonus points if you can find a very old video on YouTube now of me in a teepee having hypnotized somebody. They're not clucking like a chicken, but they're laying an egg. It's quite an amusing moment. How did I do that? I kept repeating, in a moment, when I click my fingers, you're going to start thinking you're a chicken and you're going to try and lay an egg. Do you understand that in a moment that when I click my fingers, you will start clucking like a chicken and you'll try and lay an egg. In a moment, when I click my fingers, you're going to, do you get that? Nod when you understand that in a moment, I will I keep repeating it until that person is so down with the idea. It seems such a normal response that when they click my fingers, they're going to try to lay an egg, that they do it. It's a spell. It's the use spells. Think grimoire, spells, grammar, spelling, use of words. It's our most powerful tool. Our words define experience and reality. Everything you know is because you've been told by words what it is. Think about it. And the problem is that when that repetition gets so often, that spell becomes more powerful when you stop noticing that it's being repeated. It just becomes a loop in your mind. And you're going, yeah, sprouts are fucking bad. Excuse my French. Sprouts are bad. Sprouts are bad. Sprouts are bad. I'm not editing that out because this is a one take. That's my promise with these. I'm not scripting. It's just a one take. Sprouts are bad. Sprouts are bad. The moment that happens, we're in trouble. The moment you're going, yeah, that person's idea about sprouts is right. You're hypnotized. You're under the glamour. You're under the spell. You have been pulled into a created illusion of what reality is or what it is for them. It's no longer your reality. You are under a spell. And there are other things as well. If there is a fear element in that emotion, again, if you studied hypnosis, one of the greatest way to get people into hypnosis is through triggering an emotion. You get an emotional response. Somebody is no longer working from their logical mind. They're already working within their unconscious mind. So if you go, not only are sprouts bad, but they might come up and steal your carrots in the night, then all of a sudden you are under the like maddest spell ever, because not only have you automated this sprouts are bad, sprouts are bad, sprouts are bad, sprouts are bad, but you are now in a place of fear. Sprouts are bad and they're going to bite my toes. Sprouts are bad and they're going to bite my toes. When you are in that heightened state of fear with that mantra now of sprouts are bad is embedded even more and taken even deeper. Frightened people seek certainty. If you can tie that normalized, ridiculous idea into fear, oh, that's going to happen, this is going to happen, those sprouts are bad, they'll bite my toes. The moment you do that, what happens is, as human beings, we seek tribes. This is how cults are built. A cult is built around one central idea that's repeated so much that it's accepted, and then fear is introduced that the outside world isn't right or isn't ready or doesn't know this. And so now, not only are you believing the thing that you're just told is true without even questioning it, why would you do that? But you've had fear introduced, or you need to be part of this because otherwise those sprouts, they're going to come and bite all our toes. Oh, terrible sprouts. So now people are automated. You are not working under your own mind. You are under a spell. You are captured by this. You're in a trance controlled by somebody else who's now telling you to be afraid of the thing they've already told you is bad. And you are then going to start seeking out a tribe. Yeah, because suddenly there are enemies and we want simple answers. We don't want the responsibility of having to deal with this. Oh, somebody else can do it. Who's saying, oh, this person has a spray that neutralizes the aggression in sprouts. I have no idea where this is all coming from. So there's these sprouts that will eat our toes, but we've all got together in our little group that now hates those sprouts. Our leader, who is the magician, is going to spray those sprouts with a spray. And that's a simple way of getting rid of it. And when they're doing that, if we give them all our power, they will sort those sprouts out for us. A frightened mind will always choose certainty over truth. Can you see the power of this spell? This magic that's been woven through our society? Oh my God. Wake up, humans. Wake up, people. Human beings are programmable through repetition, through symbolism, repetition of symbolism, and emotional intensity. Ritual, advertising, propaganda, social conditioning use the same mechanisms. Sigils, talismans become the logos and graphics of certain organizations. Hashtags, they're all modern talismans. They're all little modern talismans, all little bits of magic. Don't just take them from me. Look at it from a psychological point of perspective. Look into psychology. Look into the science of mind. Symbolism, repetition, fear It all does these things. I'm talking from this perspective, both from magical, but also from somebody who's studied for like, oh, how many years now? God, it's almost 30 years, right? I've been studying before that as an interest from early teenage years, psychology. Then I trained as a counselor, as therapist, psychotherapist, hypnotherapist, all that therapy, psycho stuff. That's magic without the magic. That's what's going on in here. That's all magic is. It's how we're shaping and creating our realities for ourselves. It's learning to take control of that, because when you take control of that, rather than letting them who hate sprouts do it, then you are in control of your reality and you don't look like an idiot for following the fucking herd. Sorry, I swore again. I don't know what's up with me today. I'm just passionate on this one. Um, Identity eventually itself becomes a spell. And that's dangerous. Let's break this down. Sprouts. Suddenly, someone saying, sprouts are bad, they'll come and bite your toes. Follow me, and I will spray them. Here's my slogan, here's my imagery. I'm going to keep repeating this message to you all the time in a symbolic form, in made up propaganda, news stories, everywhere I can. I'm going to spread this illusionary reality to you until you've heard it so much you believe it. And then I'm going to make you afraid about this imaginary reality that I've created and telling you. And then what am I going to do? This is some major magic stuff going down. What am I going to do then? I'm going to create this club. You become a part of the club, and then you start identifying yourself. I'm an anti-sprout person. And that is where it gets dangerous, because identity fuses with the story you're being. You now identify yourself as the story somebody else is feeding you. Forgive the expression, but the bullshit that they are feeding you is now becoming your story, because you're allowing them to take control of you. You're going, here's my life, tell me how to live it. That's not a powerful way to live your life. If you live your life that way, you're probably not happy with your life. You're probably disenchanted by what your governments and people in power are doing. You're probably not in a job you want to do. You're probably thinking, why on earth, why is my life not better? Why? Because you're handing your power and letting the magician run the show. That's what's happening. So your identity fuses with the story, and challenging the story. Anyone that goes, hey, do you know what? Like I'm doing right now, I'm saying, you know what? That reality you're being spoon fed, that you now identify with, may be a load of crap. It may be completely made up. Yeah. But this is the spell, the enchantment that you're being pulled into. So the moment someone challenges that story, it no longer feels like, well, yeah, look, he's having a go at Dave over there who doesn't like sprouts. It feels like, oh my God, they're having a go at me because I don't like sprouts, but this is who I am. I've always been a sprout hater. No, you haven't. Spiritual identity, political identity, social identity, online identity. Suddenly that illusion feels like you're being attacked. You've handed the definition of your reality to somebody else, to the point where you now identify with their definition of reality as being you. That's practically schizophrenic. And so now you feel attacked. How dare someone question? Oh, I don't like that. Oh, social media creates collective trance states, endless loops. Some of those are good. Don't get me wrong. If the spell you're caught in is one that creates love, unity, togetherness, community, strength, if it's one that encourages you to look out for your fellow human being across the planet and to look after the very earth that you live on, feed your energy into that. Feed your energy into that. That's what we're here to do. Look at the achievements we've made. Look at the things as human beings we get through when we come together. But the magician wants you divided, because as an individual, can control you all if you're divided. Doom scrolling, the news. Oh my God, have you done it? Of course you have. Of course you have. If you're watching this, you've done it. War, war, war. Scandal, war, murder, war, 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 war. Oh, so much. Damn, no wonder we're depressed. God, and what is that? That's the news people going, here's the fear. We're telling you the world's a bad place. You need to keep coming back to us to still know that the world is a bad place because there's the hope that one day we'll tell you it's different. Guess what? You're under their spell. That's an enchantment. They're giving you a portrayal of what they want you to think the world is like, so you keep coming back to them for the reassurance. And about algorithms. Are the algorithms there? They focus in, they pick up on what fuels you, on what fires you up, and they feed that. They feed that, and we're all caught into this spell and enchantment, or a trance if you want to be less cosmic. All fed into that. It controls what we eat, what we drink. It controls the music we listen to. It controls so much who we vote for, oh my God. And yet, there is a way to break this spell. There is a way that you and I can move beyond this and take back control and step into the magical people we are. It's simple. It's awareness. The moment you can see the spell working, you can hear the repetition, you can kind of see the process, step outside of it, observe it, don't engage with it, and do your homework. Do your homework. So, statistics show 150% of sprouts want to eat your toes. I've heard that a few times now. Don't know about you. I'm going to look that up. Is that true? Is that true? Scrolling. Actually, no. There's never been a single example of sprouts trying to eat someone's toes. The magician is casting his spell. Eat this, it's good for you. 80% of people that ate this have said that it felt good. Research. Only 10 people have ever ate this, which means only 8 people said it tasted good. Come on. Awareness. Wake up. Break the spell that you're being put under. Ask yourself these simple questions with anything you're being fed via the media, anything you're hearing, whether it's papers, social media, news. Ask yourself this: what stories do I keep hearing being repeated? And what stories do I repeat about myself? Are they my stories? Are they based on my experience, or am I picking them up from out there? Because if you're picking them up from there, you're letting somebody else define your reality. Doesn't make you a bad person, but there are stronger ways to show up in life. If you're allowing other people to define your reality, there is a fear there that you're not willing to take on that definition for yourself. What definitions shape your reality? Are you somebody that tells themselves that they're always going to have bad luck? Because if you are, then you will. And what's more, it tunes your mind in to look for those moments of bad luck. You have equally, if not more, moments of joy and good luck happening in your life. Even if you're challenged by stuff, there will be good things. What if you start defining your reality by those good things? I'll tell you what. Your awareness shifts and you become more and more aware of other good things, and you become more aware of good things you can do for other people and the other things that other people are doing for everyone else. And suddenly your reality has changed. You have worked magic and your world is more positive. Ask yourself, what fears are influencing my perception? And where are those fears coming from? Am I afraid of sprouts because one night I woke up in the middle of the night and on each of my toes there was a sprout munching? Or am I afraid of sprouts because somebody over there said they're going to come over and get me? You're better than that. If you're listening to that person, I promise you, you are better than that and you can be better than that. Which thoughts are truly mine is the question to ask. That's that's the question. Is this my experience or am I just being spoon fed somebody else's reality? That's a glamour, that's illusion, that isn't necessarily truth. And if I'm going to listen to that person, make sure I am questioning everything they say, looking into the facts and figures, and not just in the places that will back that up, like his website, but look at the reality of it. The strongest spell in many lives is the sentence repeated internally every day. And I mean, what do I mean by that? Have you ever gone around the supermarket and there's a tune playing and you listen to like 5 seconds of it, but the rest of the time it's going through your mind and you find yourself like sitting down for supper that night and you this that song that you heard like 30 seconds of as you left the shop is still going around in your head. Everyone's done that. I know you can't sit there and say you haven't. I'm telling you now, that's how easy it is for the magician out there to put the idea into your head. And if you're repeating that idea and over and over and over again, like I said, it's going to normalize it. Once it's normalized, then they'll add the fear. Once the fear's added, then they'll call you together. And once you're called together, you listen to the story and go, that's my story. It was never your story. I promise you. Be strong. Step up. Real magic may simply be learning to see clearly again. Real magic is to live in a place of observation, to see the bigger picture and to make the right decisions and choices that make your life and the life of the people around you better. Become conscious of the stories that are shaping your perceptions. Become aware of the stories that you are being told that then you tell yourself that then you accept are your story because they're probably not. And remember, it's not doom and gloom. The magician's spell is broken when you step into awareness, when you see what's going on, when you can see from now on where that glamour, where that illusion is being spread. Awareness brings us to true freedom, and true freedom brings us together in love and unity. Wow. I'm going to apologize just at the end of this because I don't often swear in these, and I did today because it's something that's moved me quite a lot. Do comment, do share your thoughts. Do subscribe to the channel. The more people that follow, the more wonderful that is. And, you know, share ideas and thoughts. We've got the posts, comment. Be part of this. Always with love, always with respect. But anyway, I've been Rob Chapman. This has been the Saturday Grove. Much love, many blessings, and I will see you again next Saturday. I'm pre-recording these at the moment, but if you like the idea of maybe doing it live, let me know. Take care. Have a good one. I've got to find my sunglasses. I threw them over there. Bye-bye.